Hi, and welcome back to Growth with Ciara. I am so excited that you're here with me today. And today's conversation is all about community and the growth we find when we stop doing life alone. My guest today is Alexandra from Building Her Dreams,
Yes.
a coach, a community builder,
Yes.
and an overall just amazing human being. And I am so passionate about this topic, and I know that we're going to help so many people with all the wisdom that you're going to share with us today. And I'm just really excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this space. I love your energy. We've already had a nice time together, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what we're going to be able to share and just showing up as ourselves.
I love that. And we have become Insta friends.
It's the friends.
We met through a mutual friend,
Yes.
Belinda. Shout out to Belinda.
Shout out to Sovereign B.
Shout out to Sovereign B, who is an angel in my life in many ways. And I have just always admired the way you show up for your community and the way that you empower women through your retreats, through your events, and how that is just your purpose to
Yeah.
lift women up. For anyone who hasn't met you before, how would you describe the work you do and your community?
So I describe myself numerous ways. I'm a multifaceted entrepreneur, but I'm a heart-centered, no-nonsense business and mindset coach. I also build community, which is Building Her Dreams business community, and I host retreats every year. There's just so many events that we do in building community. I would say my number one thing is really a connector. I love connecting women. I love connecting people to services or places, good food.
Yes.
If I've experienced something, I love being a connector.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to not be a gatekeeper.
Yes.
So I'm not. I share good stuff, good info, and I think that's how we grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that as someone who loves and leans on community and many different communities, I believe in the power of being better together.
Yes.
And knowing that there are people who share your interests and that will help you expand
Yep.
and become a better version of yourself in whatever area you're striving to grow, right? For those of us who have been raised in community through church or through our big families and knowing how powerful it is to have others to lean on, I believe that we've been able to tap into the power of that support. But for those people out there that have never had that the Lone Rangers or those that were raised in very small communities, what would you say is a first step into finding their tribe and their community?
So I love this question because I actually believe that our vibe, I know that's become a cliche term, our vibe attracts our tribe, but there is
100%.
actually a vibration to your being and not in some woo-woo thing. When Ciara and I walked in here today, somebody came in who doesn't know me and said, "Oh, I love the energy in this room with both of you." And we have a vibration to us.
Yeah.
And I do think that putting yourself out there and then doing the work of
Yes.
getting to know yourself, how you feel in certain situations, definitely take the step, put yourself out there, meet a few people, and don't think it's the end all be all. I was out with someone. How do I feel at the end of the night?
Yes.
I'm not feeling my best tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to put my energy into that space. Keep going.
Keep
People
looking.
try once and they back
And
on
they
their
quit.
couch.
Yeah.
Back to the scroll, doom scrolling like the kids say.
Yeah.
Get in community, find if you're in a niche. Practical advice is if you're in a niche, go look for something that is highlighting that niche. If you're in a
Absolutely.
business community, I just saw, lash artists getting together. Go find them and then say, "Hey, do I associate and feel great when I'm with these people?
Yes.
Or is it not really the place that I want to be at?"
Yeah, and that's so important. feeling comfortable
Yes.
in those environments is truly what's going to help us grow.
Yep.
Because if you can't show up as your authentic self in those spaces, then you're not going to be receptive to any of the information that's being given to you. And you're not going to grow. You're just going to be wasting your energy and theirs by taking up space in an environment where you feel like you don't belong. And sometimes, yes, for business and for just learning and growing in our craft, we have to put ourselves in environments with people that maybe we wouldn't be friends with,
Right.
but we can learn from.
Right.
And the key word is you can respect them.
Yes.
You can respect how talented they are, and that be the connection, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so profound. It's not that deep all the time.
It's not that deep all the time.
It's not that
Yes.
deep all the time. But I love that you mentioned that you have to energetically connect.
Yes.
And she's right. As soon as she walked in, we started yapping, and I was like, come on, girl. we gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta press play.
We gotta start. What inspired you to create your first community?
Okay. So I was a brick and mortar business owner for many years. I owned a high-end children and women's boutique that I loved. And I've done a lot of things. I always, and I thank my parents, shout out to my parents, who really instilled the belief that I could do anything.
That's
like that I really, I think parents say that, but I think my parents believed that.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite quotes is, my father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give another person. He believed in me. And
love that.
he did. Like my mother and father really believed in us, and they gave us the power through actually God, knowing God, but just to know that all things were possible for us.
Yeah.
And so I really was like, what am I great at? What do I love doing? I had my store, and my favorite thing about the store, of course, I loved buying the clothes, but it was the people. I loved being with people. You come in and you're shopping for your son, and that's what my boutique was really amazing at, because I had a little boy, and I thought, these clothes are so boring for boys. Let's find some really great boy clothes.
Yeah.
And women, I've closed my boutique when I had my surprise baby in 2011. Still to today's date, I bump into people that are like, we miss you. We miss you in
Because of the
community.
connection.
And
it's so much more than the clothes.
So much more. And so I had that. And then after the housing market crashed, a lot of my people that shopped with me, high-end children's boutique is the first thing that you're not shopping, right?
Absolutely.
So in 2000, we made it through 08, 09, 2010, and then I got pregnant after 10 years of silence in that area.
Wow.
God brought the greatest gift. And so I just thought, let me take a step back. But then I was really starving for community in person.
Yes.
And I realized that some of the community spaces I was going to, the women were not who they portrayed themselves to be.
Yes.
Online, they were like a girl's girl and a this, and in person, they were shady and like
competitive.
Yeah, you take a picture. Oh, we came to your event, and everybody's posting about your event, and I could have just stayed home, because what was the event about? I talked to the same one or two people that I knew, and I was like, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna be the change.
Yeah.
And so if you've ever been to an event, we work really hard at highlighting the women in the room, so you know who's in the room.
Yeah.
So that when somebody needs a gift or a service or a product that you have, they know where to go, and they can associate your face back to you.
The power of networking,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a conversation that I've been having with my son, who's on the college journey, that yes, talent and hard work go far, but it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know.
Yes.
And you never know where that conversation is going to lead, what opportunities will surface from someone just thinking that you're pleasant, and the doors that can open for you when you really foster those relationships.
For our children who are listening, the doors that open and close, right?
Because of the way you treat someone.
Because of the way you show up, right?
Yes.
Show up as your authentic self. Like people say, I'm me. Well, be your best you.
Yeah.
Show up as your best you, because somebody can meet you one time and say, I didn't really like this. So show up with authenticity, and show up with the intention of really getting to know someone else.
Yeah.
And to know how you can really rise together and be better together. Because so
Absolutely.
many people are showing up with this give me attitude, and life gives to the givers, not the takers.
Woo! That's a word. Absolutely. And amen to that. I think that authenticity also is such a superpower that so many people are afraid to tap into
Yep.
because it requires vulnerability.
Yep.
It requires me showing all sides of myself. And the truth of the matter is, not everyone's going to like everything you are.
Of
and
course.
that's okay.
That's for sure.
You know who has to like you? I tell my daughter this all the time. You. You gotta like you.
I love it.
You gotta like you more than your friends, than anyone in your life. Because at the end of the day, you have to deal with yourself
Yep.
and your thoughts and your emotions. And you gotta not like you gotta love you. You gotta love you. And if you show up as that version of yourself, someone who's so self-aware of the good and the bad, because none of us are perfect, your people are gonna find you. Not only are they gonna find you, they're gonna love you.
And they're going to lift you.
And they're gonna lift you.
They're going to love you and lift you. I want to just touch on something. I don't even know if it's one of your questions, but you said something that was so powerful. Authenticity, being partnered with vulnerability. And I think it really is a superpower, because I always tell my clients, most people don't know you or me, but they know themselves.
Yeah.
And so if you show up as only perfect, they say, well, I could never be like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But when we show up as our vulnerable selves, when we show up as who we really are, people feel drawn to us because they actually can see themselves in parts of us.
Yeah.
And so we'll have really powerful connections with people if we learn. First job is to learn about yourself, to know yourself, to quiet the noise. I know you and I share that. I journal in the mornings.
Yes.
And I quiet the noise, and I try to connect back to myself and to God, just so that I can just say, like, whoa, I'm not going to spend my whole morning scrolling. I'm going to quiet down, figure out what's important, and set up my day. A lot of people aren't doing that, and it shows.
Yeah, and if you're not taking the time to know who you are, then how is anyone going to really know you?
Yeah.
How are you going to connect with people on a profound level if you haven't even connected with yourself?
Yeah.
So I think, you know this about me. A morning routine to
Yes.
me is a non-negotiable.
Yes.
It is a time that I get to hear my own voice a little stronger, a little clearer, but also tune into God, whatever God means to you, into my essence,
Yes.
right? And the more I distract myself with the doom scrolling or, all of life's distractions, the further I get from myself.
Yeah.
And the harder it's going to be to connect with people on a really profound level, because I'm not even connecting with me. So one of the things that I really love about community is, obviously there's the beautiful side of having community, which is where you're growing and learning and you're inspired by people. But I also think that one of the greatest parts of community is when we're able to lean in to our tribe, our support groups, our friends, when we're going through really, really hard times.
Yeah.
As someone who's experienced many different and very challenging chapters in my life, I know I would have not survived them had it not been for my people and the way that they were able to lift me up when I couldn't even look up.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how community plays a part in the difficult seasons in your life, or the way that you show up as a leader for those who are going through a difficult season.
So I love this, because it's something that so many people don't even realize, right? That's the reason why we take the step. That's the reason why we find bravery and courage to show up, because there are ebbs and flows to life. And when it's high season and it's fun times and party and drinking, there's people everywhere. It's very well said all the time, you know who your friends are when it's really the tough times, right?
Yeah.
I have friends that'll sit in the dark with me and not speak. No talking. They just will sit beside me. And that is I love this new trend online, rich in life, and they're showing their friends, and I feel super rich in that area of my life, super rich.
That's beautiful.
I have had to show up, even just this last year, through numerous challenges, personal things some people don't know about them, some people do, but having a safe place to land, people that can understand me, people that I can come to and say like, wow, I'm struggling in my motherhood journey right now, or wow, I have a lot on my plate, or, you know, my husband hasn't been feeling good, or my mother hasn't been feeling good, or my friend hasn't been feeling good. And these are people who are staples in my life, and I'm having to maneuver this and show up as a confident business owner. And having a place that I can just put my armor down. And just be like, oh, Ciara, I can't even tell you what this week has been like. This happened, and still, okay, back to work after that. You know? So I think people don't show up sometimes, they don't want to show their vulnerability because they feel that it's weakness.
Absolutely.
And really, it's so powerful. It's so hard to get vulnerable and to show your real self that it actually looks like strength to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that made me really emotional when you were speaking, because I think about how fortunate I am with my amazing friends who have just truly been my backbone in so many moments. And I never thought I'd cry on the podcast.
Well,
but
that's good.
But maybe I will, because I mean, if you've ever gone through a dark season alone, you know how hard it is when you're just sinking and there's no one holding the light. But when you have people that can just sit by you, sit beside you, and hold you in the dark. You know, I saw this beautiful conversation between Angie Martinez and Mary J. Blige.
Oh, I love that. I just watched a little bit of it.
And they were talking about friendship.
But they're real friends.
They're
right?
real friends, yeah. And they were talking about one of the pieces that really struck me is friendship means that I will support you even when I don't understand your choices. That even though in my eyes you're making a mistake, it's okay. I'll let you make that mistake, and I'll be here afterwards.
I'll be the safe place for you to land.
I'll be the safe place for you to land.
That's powerful.
And that, I think, is what makes decades-long friendships and what creates the level of trust and just love and sisterhood that is just incredible. And shout out to my incredible sisterhood, my friends. I wasn't gonna celebrate my 40th birthday. I turned 40 this last year, and they forced me.
They forced you.
They forced me.
And was it the best?
It was
the best.
One of, if not the best trip of my entire life. And I love to travel. Travel a lot.
Amazing.
And they poured into me in a way that was just truly life-changing for me. And I've always been the friend to pour out. And it's just my nature. I just love to, like we were talking, nurture and share. And if I find something that's incredibly life-changing for me, I want to tell everyone about it. And it felt just so
good.
I mean, incredible to have your people just see you and pour into you. And you also have to be in a space to accept that, which is also part of learning how to be in community.
But the takers don't understand that. If you're a giver, that resonates with you, right? Like that hits me deep, you know, to be able to take something or receive something that somebody that loves you also wants to be able to support you and just be able to sit in that and say, it's okay. You know, it's okay. I can have this. And it doesn't mean that I'm not doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I am receiving in this moment. And it's such a beautiful exchange.
It is. It is. And we all need it, right? No matter if you're a business owner, a leader, you have all, you know, these communities that you have to show up for other people. The healers need healing.
Always.
And they need a space to land. So if you have a friend, that strong friend, strong friend needs you more than you know.
Yeah.
And that's why community, especially community of a lot of strong friends, is really, really important.
It is. It is. We've been blessed. I think it is one of the things at the top of my list. I have a 47-year friendship. And it's one of the things, you know, I always joke with her, when I count my blessings, I count you 2 times, because like, how do you get through some seasons, right? Like it does, even if you have a husband or a wife but somebody that knows
like your
you,
friends.
Somebody that knows you and just accepts you just like you are,
you
know, and loves you.
And there's something beautiful about those lifelong friendships where you've seen each other in so many different phases and spaces and seasons, and still show up and understand each other. And that obviously comes with a lot of work and a lot of trust. And it is a relationship, right? So you have to work at it. You have to show up for it. You need your friends. You need your sisters. You need your tribe. You need your community. And I'm so grateful for mine. And I'm so grateful for the spaces where those of us, or those of you who maybe don't have that so readily available in your life, where you can find that.
At Building Her Dreams.
At Building Her Dreams.
Come on over. We'd love to have you.
So Alexandra, as a multifaceted business owner, right, you've owned many different businesses and started many different businesses. How has your definition of success changed?
Today, success to me is really more about purpose, about peace, about joy, and having real impact.
Yeah.
So I feel successful when I'm walking in my gift.
Yes.
And I love quotes around my house. There's quotes everywhere.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes is that when you're moving in your gift, you don't have to sit at the head of the table, because wherever you are, the energy shifts.
Yes.
And I love being able to be purposeful, and that's success to me right now. It's not about, a number. It's not that. It's really the impact that I have on someone else's life.
Yeah, and to touch on that, especially with starting this podcast and everything that comes with building a brand, so to speak, there are times where you get too caught up in the numbers and you get caught up in the views and yada yada. I personally don't, because that's not the reason why I'm doing this. I look at every view, even if it's one, as someone I've impacted. And that's the point. That's the purpose of this. Now, what comes out of it, only God knows.
Yeah.
But if the purpose is to serve, then one person I've helped is a gift.
A gift.
A gift.
If we shift our perspective from what can I get to who can I serve, the room expands.
A million %.
The room expands, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm looking around this room for what can I get, who's going to get what I want? No, if I'm here to serve, everybody wants to be served.
Yeah.
Then my word for this year is expansive.
Yeah.
I just expanded what I can take care of in that room.
Absolutely.
So our perspective has to change.
Yeah. I also think it's important to talk about this point, especially when it's communities for women. Sometimes women can be competitive or catty with one another. How do you eliminate that in your community? And what has building a community taught you?
So good. So 2 separate questions. How can we eliminate competitiveness? And then what it's taught me. I eliminate competition by showing up authentically. And in me, there's no jealousy. I'm never jealous of another woman.
Amen.
I'm always looking to how we can collaborate. I say that at the bottom, people are competing. At the top, everybody's collaborating. Everybody's thinking,
That's
how can I
right.
use your gift? How can I, how can I
Leveraging resources.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the competition aspect is in the room, because I set the temperature.
That's
and
right.
a leader always sets the temperature.
That's right.
And I think some women are afraid of their own power. And I'm really grateful to be in this season and to be able to know what I can do and to walk in that. And I don't like cattiness. I don't like shadiness. And so I don't stand for it.
Yeah.
So if you come to me with it inside of our community and you get shut down, you're not going to come back, right? You're not going to come back with that cattiness.
But it starts with you, right?
Correct.
You're setting the tone.
Correct. Everything rises and falls on the leadership. And then what I've learned really building this community has been how rare and how beautiful it is to live in a community where there is not competition, but where we're asking the question, how can we rise together?
Yes.
It's rare.
It is.
Just like your friendships, they're beautiful and rare. We see that there's so many girls that are struggling with their self-image because of the people that they're around.
Yes.
Or the world that they live in. And so what it's taught me is that it's rare and that this is a gift, like you just said.
Yeah.
It's a gift for me to be able to give this to someone, to tell them, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you and you're worthy and you're valuable. Not
Yeah.
because of what you bring to the marketplace, but because you're valuable as a human.
You are worthy just because you are.
Yes. And I think that I feel honored And if anything could take my breath away or humble me, it's that I feel honored to be able to give that gift to someone else, because it's so few and far between. Everybody's, the me show.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that are my clients that are struggling with like feeling imposter syndrome
or playing small.
yeah, or playing small. I
Yeah.
always tell them, you're worried about what people are thinking about you.
Yeah.
Here's 2 thoughts. Number 1, don't worry about what people think about you. Most people don't even like themselves.
Correct.
Second thought is, people are only thinking about you for 30 seconds, then they're back to their favorite
It's-
person, themselves.
Correct.
So show up authentically, and like leave all of the weight that is on you from the world and just show up and be yourself. I think that is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in community. I've seen people blossom. I've watched women who were timid be very outspoken or powerful and get their voice, and it's so beautiful to me.
And it's so beautiful to watch, especially when you see others. I love mentoring
Yep.
and the power. Last week's episode was
I
on the
watched
power
that. Yeah,
of mentorship.
that was so cool.
And even, I've got to tell you, even watching Diana, who's been my mentee for a very long time, the way she was speaking as I was looking back at the episode was like such a proud moment
Yeah.
for me, because I know
Where she's
that
come from.
I know her story, and I know how much she has worked on being able to just even sit and have that kind of conversation and talk about her journey. So it is a gift to be able to create the spaces that allow for people to share their stories and just grow a little bigger, or see more of themselves in someone else's story.
Love that.
Because sometimes we think we're the only ones who went through that, and we're the only ones experiencing that. And the person that you least think is going through exactly what you're going through.
Yeah.
And imagine how powerful it would be if you both could lean on each other.
Yeah.
Right?
But we have to stop hiding.
We have to stop
We
hiding.
have to stop hiding. We have to show up.
We
and
have
we
to
have
show
to,
up.
really learn what it is to stand next to another woman and support her.
Yeah.
It is a shift in the way that we've been taught,
Yeah.
because of, we talked a little bit about the cattiness, really being a girl's girl and
Yeah.
supporting another woman. It is such a beautiful gift.
And supporting just because.
Yeah.
Not because there's an end game.
That's
not
right.
because there's a strategy.
That's right.
Not because you liked her shoes. You're going to support her just because it's the right thing to do. And everything comes back to us tenfold. So you showing up for someone, especially in their moment of struggle, is opening the door for one day someone to do that for you.
That's right.
And that's just the way life works. Like you said, everything is ebbs and flows. So I think it's important to just show up and be a good human being.
Yes.
Like, just do that. Like, that's the bare minimum. What does growth mean to you in this season of your life?
So for me right now, growth is more intentionality, more peace. Like, the more I can regulate myself,
Yeah.
I see the growth in myself. I think people think, again, growing our numbers and, seeing growth in myself with being just, I know me and I'm good with her.
Yeah.
And like, I know when I need to get myself back to alignment, and I think I was very busy before, doing all the things, showing up for everybody. I've learned to take the time for myself, and I think that that's growth. And I've learned to do it unapologetically, and I've also learned to ask questions to people. My best friend always jokes this, like, oh, Alexandra, I've seen this great shift in you. You've always had so much wisdom or stuff to share, but previously you would just share it.
Yeah.
And now you ask, do you want to hear this?
That's a whole other episode. That's our next one. That's our next one. Because I think I love this so much. And this is a lesson I've just recently learned in adulthood, is that showing up for people does not mean you're solving their problem.
That's right.
Sometimes it's just listening to them.
Yeah.
And even though you have the best intentions,
Yeah.
because you love them,
Yeah.
you don't have to fix everything.
That's right.
But that's the next
It's
episode.
it's
You don't have to
powerful.
fix anything.
It's powerful. But, just asking that question, that was growth for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was also a beautiful 2.0 Alexandra who wasn't wasting her energy where it wasn't warranted.
Correct.
Right? Because just because you have great information or advice, if somebody's not ready to receive it, you know, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves.
Whoop.
So they will have a hard time hearing a truth if they don't know that about themselves already.
Right.
So
Or you become a mirror
yeah,
in the worst way to them. And that is also
that's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole other episode too. But I think that is such a powerful lesson to learn, and that we grow. Well, if we're doing the work and we're maturing and evolving, we understand that you can't force growth on anyone.
No.
That is an inside job. Growth is an inside job. I'm so grateful for you.
I'm so grateful for you. What a beautiful conversation.
This was amazing. I'm sure this is part one of
I know. I was like, I feel like I want to
episodes.
keep talking. I want to keep talking to Ciara. Everybody should come here.
I'm so grateful that you said yes. I want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge your parents for pouring into you and showing you how capable you are and how you have taken that gift and given it to others, especially those who need it most. I just admire you so much, and I will continue to support you and all of your events because they're so transformative for women, and just who you are as a person and how you're showing up on your platforms matters. And I really hope you know that.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I think one of the best parts of this conversation was a reminder that we're better together. Alexandra has given us a beautiful gift, our Growth with Ciara community. There's a journal, a love letter to myself, a daily gratitude journal. I love this journal. It has a bunch of inspirational quotes, but more so, it's going to allow you the time to really tap into yourself. And she's also graciously giving one of you a session with her valued at $450. This will change your life. So if you are interested, DM. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.